How's it going? It's a Sunday night and I'm reflecting and getting ready for another week of uh, training. I thought I'd do a video on during the summertime, and especially if you're someone to take recovery weeks and time off, there's always going to be that confusion coming back a week on to training after a week or two off, and essentially how you should train and how you feel you should train. So should you be going back to doing the same things you were doing before in terms of the weights, the lifts, the sets, the reps, everything like that. And then also what we're going to be doing is reviewing my program on Lifetime, just to give you a sense of idea of how coaches and people like myself as well would independently review a program and review it and see what its progress has been like from the past 10 or several months, whatever it's been, how you would implement it, amend things, look at it, that kind of thing, and we'll go through it. So I had a recovery week last week. I felt sick a couple of weeks ago, and I was overdue a recovery week off from training. And for those of you who don't know, a recovery week essentially is a time in which you're gonna take time off from the gym. Now you may come in a couple of days throughout the week for really light stuff, just make sure the joints are still doing what the joints are designed to do. But other than that, it's a week off, right? It's allowing your central nervous system to regain itself again, joints to make sure if there is any niggles that the joints are healing themselves properly, and to ensure as well that you're recovering from any previous damage you've done, that maybe fiber damage in the body that you haven't actually sufficiently recovered from because you've constantly been hitting it and you've never really truly recovered from it. So recovery weeks are very useful, and I took one last week, and I'm very excited to get back, and it was very required as well because my lower half specifically, everything was starting to go, sore knees, really really tight hips, sore adductors, everything was starting to go bad, and I knew that it started to get to the point where the leg progress with the weights of the squats, for example, was starting to actually go down, not even maintain or go up, was actually starting to get worse. So I knew I needed to implement this. So without further ado, let's talk. So when you're coming back from a week off, so be it a holiday or it's a recovery week, whatever it is, you should be going back with the utmost focus on still your quality and intensity should still remain the same. However, for the first week back, I would personally, now this is all suggestive stuff, right? This is from my years of experience of training and some coaching as well. I myself would suggest to taper things back a little bit. So I would approach a deload week, like how you would do deloads. So whatever your max weight was for, say, your 6 to 10 reps, or whatever your main working set is, the set that you're going to failure and trying to beat every week, I would take about 60% or maybe about, say, 30 to 40% off that weight and move that for slightly more reps. Again, just to refresh what the movement's going to be, the tempo, the form, everything like that there. I mean, believe it or not, a week off your performance will be amazing after a week or two off, after you come back, but some things cannot feel as tight in. Like even if it's only 7 days or 14 days off, things can still feel that, I don't feel locked in as much. The joints have been a bit sore because they haven't been doing what they are meant to be doing. When you're doing your daily workings of life, you're not moving, your shoulders above your arm. There's a lot of things you're not doing that you are doing in the gym. So, you're gonna feel a lot of you're gonna feel quite sore the day after. If you went to train normally, you probably won't be able to hit the same reps that you used to hitting if you went back to normal. And then overall, just from a matter of strategy, that you're going to get a lot more out of it the second week if you approach sensibly and just feed the weight back into your program, right? So you're back to training first time out of a week or two, whatever it is, and you're only doing about 30% of what that max weight was, and that's still quite heavy. It's going to be quite still straining, especially if you take it from more reps and keep the tempo slow. But, in theory, that's going to ensure adequate recovery the day after, because there's going to be a bit of a lag period. You haven't trained for a while. The recovery demands are going to be quite high. So that's going to allow the recovery demands to be able to meet their expectations and do its thing. And then week 2, then you're comfortable to go back straight into what your logbook was. So whatever you were doing, and start matching your logbook again and trying to improve. So that's my approach to it, and that's what my suggestion would be personally. Week or 2 off, you're coming back with the weight reduced. Make sure your tempo's back into check, your form's back into check. All those things that you don't want to be slipped up on, right? This is the perfect time now to refresh these things. And it's a perfect time also to kind of play around with different alternative exercises as well, things you might have wanted to try but want in your program or log. This is the perfect time to play around with those. Okay, so what we're going to do here is in live time we're going to review my program. So I've been running with this for this setup probably the last 5-6 months now, quite a while. Some success, some issues here and there, but we're going to review it now, and I'm going to show you just what my approach is every 10-12 weeks when I do review a program, and how I would change things, take things out. Now, this is specifically what I do, exercises that work for me. Obviously, this doesn't mean that you're going to copy and paste this into yours, but it certainly will give you an insight of how program reviewing is done and what it might look like. Now, I'm going to do this in the very most informal way possible. It's going to be done on a notepad on a phone, because I want to try to match it close enough to what some other people might be doing on their own. Okay, so the current program. So it's about a 6-day training split, although sometimes it is 7 days. So it starts with Monday being push. How unpredictable. So the first exercise we have is a decline barbell press. Feet up in the air. Something I've started doing recently. So a lot of the times when I was pressing, my feet was on the ground. I noticed when it got to the last few sets or the last few reps of failure, my feet would tend to really heavily push to the ground to the point where my glutes were starting to elevate up. Okay if you're a powerlifter, not great if you're a bodybuilder, especially if you're wanting to try to really emphasize the chest. So now I find when my feet float in the air, while my weight potential of what I was doing has been reduced, it's really allowed me to focus in the chest a lot more, and I know that the driving power is coming from the shoulders and the chest and not from glute drive and leg drive and stuff like that there. So it has been very efficient, and the good thing is I'm up to the weights I used to be able to do with my feet, so it's going good. So one working set, 6 to 10, and then a drop back. I did have a strength set in this before for 3 to 5, but I have a shoulder injury at the minute with bicep tendonitis, which is connected into the delt, and it was a lot of work on it, and it's still not out of the woods yet, so I've took out the strength set, but I may add that back in, potentially if we put it in, strength set, question mark. So inclines next, again, feet not placed on the ground, feet up on the bench. That's been a game changer for changing it. Hypertrophic set, 7 to 10, strength set, and a drop set. I like that. Strength set though, I'm going to go with maybe tomorrow, because again, I think it's just maybe wasting time in the incline. For bodybuilding, I'm not a powerlifter. I don't really need to have too many of those strength ones. Cable flies, I can't do dumbbells or even the pec deck. It's really bad in the shoulders, so I'll probably stick with these 3 sets of crease weight. I'm happy enough with that. That sounds good. Stand and DB side raise is heavy. These ones have been quite uncomfortable quite recently, only for the fact that I've not been able to get over the reps, and it's requiring a lot of work to get these. It's very stressful doing 20 reps and 20 kilo dumbbells, and these are, it's quite good reps. I've specifically tracked these with little to no backswing and stuff. I think what we're going to do is maybe I'm going to review this. Maybe change it. Maybe change to chest supported side raises on a bench. Maybe. I do some cables in another day, or back to wall prop, back to wall side raises, right raises. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that. So the next day is legs and biceps. Some days I train lunchtime and daytime. Wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but for me, it helps me split the stress. I'm a busy father and stuff, and I have another full-time job. Sometimes when I get the kids to bed and I train at 8 o'clock, the energy is really dipped, and the idea of having to hit hamstrings, abductors, quads, everything within a short period of 2 hours, it's very stressful. So sometimes I do like to split it. So lunchtime I do leg curls, really, really slow, 5-6 second negatives. Going to keep them in. They've been working great. Abductors, 5 to 6 seconds. Unfortunately, with the gym I'm at, it's not a plate loaded abductor, it's only pinned. The machine was maxed out long ago with additional weight. Jim complained that I was putting weight sneakily jammed in with the pins, so I've had to then just stick to the stack. and just even slow it down. But it has been working quite well, so I'll keep that. Bicep preacher curls, it's all cable work for the biceps because of this shoulder injury and the bicep pain. Think I'll keep those. They've been going well. I don't want to change anything like that. The quads, leg extension first, pre-exhaust hypertrophy working set. Again, not going to change that. That's good. Barbell squats, heel elevated. I may this one remove the heel elevated. Just go flat to ground this block. I think it'll be better. Because I've got squat shoes on and I'm using a heel elevated. Recently I'm getting a lot of ankle pains. Stiffness and pains, and it's caused from that, I think. So I'm going to change that. Hypertrophy working set 6 to 12. I'm going to actually now change this. I'm going to actually lower the weight, I think, and do one more at 8 to 12. Stick with a strength set, maybe. Or remove that. No, I'm going to have that strength set in the Saturday instead. Delete that off. And then drop back 12 plus. Yeah, that's going to be the new change to get past things. Because now I'm up to about 167 kilo. Ass to the grass, trying to get that to 10 reps. So I got 10 reps on 165. Recently trying to get that 167 to 10 has been very, very difficult. I need to set a new goal. I need to maybe up slightly higher rep ranges to still ensure growth with less joint stress to get that. Leg press, hypertrophic 7 to 10, drop back 12 to 5. Happy with that. Weighted lunges to failure. Happy with that. Don't want to change it. Wednesday, again, is a lunchtime one and an evening one. So triceps and weights. Don't want to change any of the triceps. Personally, again, because of the shoulder stuff, I can't do weighted dips. Can't do dips on the bench. Can't even do close grip now. It's really aggravating the shoulder, especially having a Monday push session. So now switching everything to cables. I do like a big heavy compound somewhere in triceps, but I just cannot get away with it now. So doing ridiculous slow speed on dual ropes and cable crossovers has been very good. But the crossovers, change for, I'm going to change it. Change for weighted dips on bench, so the hand's behind me instead of on a dip station. Review shoulder pain to see how it goes. But I think I'm ready to maybe put them back in. And everything else, rear delts on the bench, everything's been good. Then even back, underhand lat pull down, I've put that in because of the bicep pain, doing underhand chin-ups weighted. I was doing about 50-60 kilo on the belt. Now, because of my extra body weight I'm carrying now, it's getting a lot more difficult. And the feeling, it was just going in the biceps more than anything. Lat machine, I can control it more, and it's switched for it. So I think I'll still keep that. And then weighted pull-ups super wide, I'll keep that because that's been a nice addition, and it's limited away from the bicep pain. Barbell deficits, great new addition I put in quite recently. Don't want to change that. Don't want to change DB rows. Don't want to change pullovers. Very sure of that. Thursday is a rest day. I think this new review program, I'll stick to them being a rest day. That's going to be the change. Because recently going in and out of that, sometimes trim, sometimes not, has been a wee bit of a nightmare. So yeah, barbell heel elevated squats, high reps, 25 to 30 reps, and then 100 kilo gets around 20 reps. It's been a lot of stress in the joints, so take day off. Friday is the RDL stiff legs in the afternoon. I've been getting very good at these. About 160 plus kilo for a really slow 3-4 second negative, all the way down for about 8-9 reps more now. So I don't want to change it. That's actually been going really good. And stiff legs have been 187 kilo for about 4 reps. Beltless, everything beltless to build up the spinal erector. So I definitely don't want to change anything on that day either. The nighttime hit and press is probably one I'm going to change. Shoulders have not been able to do weighted dips anymore, and that's been a massive part of my training. I want to try to add them back in, or focus a bit more on dumbbell incline presses, or take the whole day in turn and do it a more volume-based approach with more press-ups. Back to some of my old roots, press-ups, doing supersets or giant sets. So change for giant sets, medium weights, press ups, DB incline pressures, etc. And then some side raises. It's a different alternate than Monday. It's a cable one and tricep, just some random one. That's good. The Saturday is the heavy squat day. This is the one now that's really impacting. I think I'm gonna cycle this every 2 to 3 weeks. I can't get away with this super heavy. I'm doing about 195 for 5 reps now. I'm trying to get to 200 for about 5. It's a massive recovery demand. In fact, I'm not, after I did 5 reps on 195 not so long ago. Massive headache, massive joint pains, really, really uncomfortable for days after. It affected my Tuesday session on legs, so I'm going to cycle this every 2 to 3 weeks with super heavy, and then every other week medium weight for reps. So just like Tuesday. Heavy lunges, that's good. Happy enough of that. And leg extension, high volume to failure. It's usually either body weight or like FST7 fast. Yeah, I'm happy with that stuff. That'll do good. So that's a review, really going over things. There's not much changing here, as you know, but I knew in the back of my head things won't really sort of taken over. So I'm going to make some adjustments here and see how they run. I can see now things that, I've got beside the program, review or question mark. That'll sort of come tomorrow, or when I get back right into this logbook, I can look at these things and go, that's the one I want to change. That's one that's not working. But anyway, that's basically it. It's very that simple. I know it might seem obvious, but obvious it should be for most, but it's not for some. And these are the things you need to do to keep constantly climbing up the ladder of progression, because trust me, you cannot keep going. And especially as you get older and recovery is an issue and stuff, these are the things you need to do. And you need to be sensible with program reviewing and stuff and strategizing it. If you don't have a coach or don't have anyone to give you a program, of course, you need to be mindful and very individual with your program. Anyway, if you like the video, please do like and subscribe, and do comment below if your program is one of which that you do review from time to time, or if this video has been helpful in any way. But until next time, I'm Carl from the Orcs Den. Have a nice, lovely week.